Hello guys, good morning. I hope all of you are doing well. Let me just check whether we are on or not. Yeah, okay. Hello guys, good morning. A very good morning to all of you. So today we have Shinjoy with us, whose rank is 147 AIR in CLAT, and I wanted you guys to discuss with him the strategy that he had for CLAT 2022. So Shinjoy, please will you introduce yourself?
I am Srinjoy Debnath of Kalyani Public School, Barashat. I have secured an All India rank of 147 in CLAT 2022. I hail from West Bengal, and thank you, ma'am, for inviting me to this session.
Thank you so much for joining us, Shinjoy. So we'll start with when did you start preparing for CLAT?
I have been preparing since September 2021.
Okay, so you had 6-7 months of preparation, right?
Yes.
So you think that is enough time to prepare for CLAT?
Yeah, that's enough considering the fact that we had 2 board exams this time.
Yes. Okay, great. So how did law happen to you? Why did you think that this is a right career path?
So when I was in class 10, I was interested in law, but I didn't know about CLAT and all that. So I wanted to keep my options open, and so I took up science in class 11.
Oh, wow.
And after a few months, I realized that this is not for me. I'm not going to pursue engineering or something.
Yes.
So in class 12, I started looking for other career options, and that's how I found out about CLAT, and then my preparation started in September.
Okay. So when you started your preparation, how did it start? Did you just start attending classes? Did you start watching videos? Or did you first go through the syllabus? How was it?
So first I went and looked for the syllabus, and then I attempted the CLAT 2021 paper. Oh, right. And there I scored like 48 or something. And then I realized that maybe I can just push myself if I start preparing seriously. So yes. Then I went on to YouTube and started searching for how to start preparations. And then I found out about Unacademy, and then I took up a plus subscription and started clearing my basics first.
Right.
And that's how I started preparations.
Right. So okay, so then you first started with the question paper format. Then you went through the last year question paper. Then you started attending the classes. So you were an Unacademy Plus student and attended the classes through that. Okay. So how did you start subject wise? We can first discuss subject wise. Okay. How did you start with legal reasoning? What was your strategy?
So I started with contracts. I went through all the classes of contracts. Some of them were from YouTube, and then from Unacademy itself. And then I went through Constitution. I completed the 4 major subjects that Constitution, torts, criminal law, and contracts. And then I started, and I used to give mocks simultaneously as well. Right. So that's how it went.
Okay. And what was the strategy for current affairs?
For current affairs, I used to watch videos of Divya Bhaiya, and I used to read up compendiums, monthly compendiums released by Unacademy and some other sources as well.
Yes. And for logical reasoning?
For logical reasoning, I used to watch various other classes, and not much actually. I used to practice more for logical reasoning in RC from GMAT Club and from mocks, especially from mocks, from previous year mocks.
Right. And quants, was your quants okay, or did you struggle with it?
My quants was okay, so I didn't face much problem. I used to practice quants. That's it.
Okay, great. What was your first mock score?
My first mock score means I attempted the CLAT 2022 paper, a 2021 paper.
Yes.
So I got around 48 in that mock.
And then the mock that you gave for like a real time mock, how much did you score in that? The first one?
42, I believe.
So were you disheartened with that score that oh my god, now it is done, ab kuch nahi ho sakta? How did you cope up with it?
I was actually optimistic because I realized that I have 0 preparations, and if I can score 42 with 0 preparations, then I can definitely push myself to 100 with preparation.
Yes, absolutely. So when you gave your mock, did you analyze your mock, or like you went about your preparation and then gave another mock?
No, I think analyzing a mock is very important. You need to look for the mistakes. What are the mistakes which I have committed, and what are the explanations that have been provided? What are they saying about the answer? Yes. So I think analyzing the mocks are very important. Both the ones that you have got wrong and the ones that you have got correct, because it might happen that we were dicey in 2 options, but you just got it right by luck. So you need to analyze the whole mock.
So were you reading any newspaper also for your preparation?
Yes, I used to read the Hindu daily.
Okay, daily. And were you making notes simultaneously or notes you did from the classes?
Notes I did from the classes. I didn't make notes from newspapers.
Newspaper you read for your knowledge and English and
Yes.
GK, right? है ना?
I think newspaper is very important for RC and CR.
Yes, yes.
For the English.
And when you started your preparation, was your reading speed fine or did you like work on it also?
I had to improve a bit, but it was more or less fine. But still, I had to improve it because the paper is very lengthy.
So how did you improve your reading speed?
I used to read newspapers regularly. I started reading more. I started reading from various sources, from economic source, from the economic articles, and from literary sources. I was weak in articles which were based on economics.
Yes.
So I downloaded an app which has a lot of the articles on economics. So I started reading them, and I started clearing my basics in economics so that I can read them and understand what the passage is trying to say.
Right. So you worked on your weak areas and then you went on to score better in those areas, and that is how your mock scores improved as well.
Yes.
How many mocks did you attempt before CLAT?
That's a lot. On an average, I used to attempt 2 mocks every week. So that makes it around 60. That makes around 60, 70 mocks. And I had left CLAT preparations during the term 1 examination as well. Yes. So there was a span of 1 month when I did nothing for CLAT. And after that, when I started preparing again, my mock score dropped to 50 from 80. And I got deserted, like
that really takes away your motivation now.
Yes.
But then that's what the thing is. If you have to get up, you have to get back to your preparation. No matter what the mock score is, you have to get back to your preparation. You need to realize that this is your mistake. This happened because you took a break. It's fine. You'll get back to it, right? Yeah. Yes. So that really helps. So you were preparing with your 12th, right?
Yes.
So how did you manage the time for the day?
So my day began at around 8 o'clock, and then I used to study science till around 12 p.m. And then I used to have a lunch break. And then I used to return at 1 or 2. I used to write a mock from 2, or I used to do something for CLAT.
Right.
Till around 5 p.m. 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. And then I used to take a break of around 1 hour, and then I used to study a bit of science or CLAT. It's not fixed. The evening schedule isn't fixed. I might have tuitions as well, so the evening schedule is not fixed.
Yeah. So you had your tuitions, you had your school classes, you had your Unacademy classes, but you still managed it through. You did your time management in a manner that you did know how to go about the time schedule. That's
the time management is very important.
Yeah. So did you make a list of what are the things that you're going to do today, or just went on with the day?
I just went on with the day. Nothing fixed.
So ठीक है. That also works. That is the thing. Some things work for certain people. Some things work for certain. That is how you hit.
It's subjective.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, one of the students is asking, how did you motivate yourself on the days you felt demotivated?
I used to watch videos of NLIU, NALSA, and NUJS. That's enough motivation for me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very important. So we'll take certain questions from the students itself. Last mock score before exam?
I think I attempted the carry launcher open mock test. I scored around 115. So that's my last mock
score. So that also gave you a little bit of motivation that you're scoring good in mocks.
After that, I thought, okay, this time I will score good and I'll get into a good NLU.
Yeah. And how did you cover your CA backlog, because you started in September?
Yeah, I had to cover it, and so I went. I used to attend some classes, and I used to revise the compendiums. I used to the monthly compendiums which Unacademy used to release. Yes. I used to go through them.
Okay, that is how you revised.
Yeah, the monthly compendiums.
For every month, or the ones which had a backlog, you left for the compendiums only?
Yeah, I left for the compendiums only. The backlogs but I covered the backlogs from the compendiums.
Because anyway, you didn't have the time to do that.
Watch all the videos.
That's not possible. Exactly, absolutely. What are your tips for CLAT 2023 students, because they have their exam in 5 months?
You will have to be regular. You can't leave CLAT for even 2 or 3 days. You should be regular.
Yeah.
At least do something for CLAT. Just read a newspaper at least for 1 or 1.5 hours. That's it. But don't leave CLAT for a few days.
Alright, so what else do you want to tell the students like about the preparation? How should they go about it?
Uh, they should work on the weak areas and clear the basics first. The basics are very important for every subject, be it English, logical reasoning, or whatever. The basics are very important, and after that, lots of practice. Because once you're done with the basics, there is not much to do with going back and watching the previous videos and all. So.
Yeah.
Clear the basics, then practice as many questions as possible, analyze them, and see if you have weakness in any certain section or something. Like if you are getting the sedition questions based on sedition continuously wrong, then go back and watch a video on sedition. So that's suggested.
Yeah.
That's how I went out.
So how much did you score in legal reasoning?
I scored 35.
Out of 40.
Yes.
That's a very, very good score.
Thanks to you, ma'am.
So you watched all the classes for the laws that I had taken?
Yes, I had watched all the classes except some of the miscellaneous laws.
Yeah.
I used to attend the recording classes. I didn't attend the live classes because they used to clash with my schedule. So I used to watch the recording ones.
Correct. Okay, so that definitely does help. 5 things you want to tell to the 2023 students.
5 things.
Yeah.
Okay, so read a newspaper, read a good newspaper regularly. That's very important. And there is no correct time to start with your mocks. Just start it right now.
Yeah.
And you can just write 1 mock every week, and that should be enough. And analyze them properly. And be regular with your current affairs preparations, because if you think that आखिरी 1 महीने में cover कर लेंगे सब कुछ, तो वो नहीं होगा. It will be a lot of pressure. And what else can I say? If they have any specific doubt, then that would be helpful.
They're asking how you made your notes for legal. Did you make your notes for legal?
No, I didn't make any notes for legal. I purchased a book, AP Bharatwaj, and if I had a problem with a specific section, then I used to revise that book. That's it. And or watch classes.
What were your sources for English and CR practice?
The GMAT Club. I used to GMAT Club and LSAT passages. And the best sources are your mocks or sections based.
Yeah. So, tough topics of science and law, how to manage them side by side. How did you manage your science and law preparation?
So, I had PCMB, 4 science subjects.
Oh my god, are you serious? I didn't know that. I thought PCME was.
PCMB, so it was terrible, to be honest.
You did all the subjects that can be there in 12th. Law भी prepare कर लिया और PCMB और economics भी किया ही होगा CA के लिए. Very nice. I'm proud of you.
So in the first term, I concentrated more on my science subjects. I wanted to get a good marks in my term 1 itself, so that I can have more time for preparation for CLAT during my term 2. So I got a decent score in term 1. I scored around 92%. So I thought, okay, I can concentrate more on CLAT and compromise a bit on my term 2 results. Yeah. So that's how it went.
Yeah. So you need to choose. That's a personal choice. A student needs to choose, because you know that you need to give one thing more, importance. You need to prioritize things.
You need to be very confident about it. I was confident that, okay, I'll get through CLAT. So if my board exams are not so good, but I'll get to one of the good NLUs. So that's how it went.
Who were the educators that you prepared for each subject?
Okay, for legal, it was you. For English, it was Ayushi ma'am. For GK, I used to watch videos of Divya Bhaiya and Keshav sir.
Yeah.
And for logical, I didn't watch too many classes for logical. And for quants, I didn't follow any. For quants and logical, I didn't follow anyone.
Right. Okay. Mostly it's about school. So he has answered about school, guys. CA, how much marks did you score?
It went terrible. I wasn't good in CA. It was my weak section, so I scored 17.25.
And then do you manage a rank of 147? So
yeah, because I scored.
Right?
I scored 25 in English and 35 in legal, so that's 60 marks.
That is how your marks were balanced.
Yes.
Very amazing. That's amazing. Seriously amazing. Do you need to make notes of current affairs for CLAT?
I haven't made it, but it depends on your requirements. It's a subjective thing. I used to go through the compendiums. I used to watch classes and then go back and revise from the compendiums itself, because I found it very tedious making notes.
Yeah, and I saw one question. How did you clear your concepts of logical reasoning then?
For logical reasoning, I think I watched a few YouTube videos on Unacademy, not specifically from one educator. I read a book, and it's a GMAT club. I purchased a book of GMAT club, and I cleared my concepts from there.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I think he has answered all the questions, guys, that you had since we started with this class. It's the same questions only. So his first mock score was, he has already told you. Can you please repeat your first mock score?
It was 42.
Yeah. So see, guys, it's okay if you're scoring low right now in mock test, right, Sanjoy? It's fine.
Yes.
You can always improve. This is not your CLAT score. Your mock score is not your CLAT score. Your mock score will be your CLAT score if you don't analyze your mocks. If you analyze your mocks, your marks will increase, and in CLAT you will do great. That's the most important.
And my mock scores also decreased to 50 during December, January. So I was very depressed at that time. It has dropped to 50s. I was scoring at 85 before the term on results, and then it dropped to 50s. So I got really depressed. But then I started preparations, and I started writing mocks, and it bounced back to the previous level.
So were you also referring to any books throughout your preparation for each subject?
For vocabulary, I purchased a book, What Power Made Easy.
Yes.
And for logical reasoning, I purchased a book of GMAT Club, and I also had a book by R.S. Agarwal. And for quants, I refer to a book, 30 Days Maths Wonder. Yeah. I think it's a very good book. Yeah, it teaches you all the shortcut tricks for quick calculations. Yeah. And for legal, it was AP Bharadwaj, because it has the concepts, so you don't have to make notes of.
But it does not have all the concepts, right? I've read that, but the concepts
are very few concepts. That's very few concepts. It's not very helpful. AP Bharadwaj isn't very helpful, but you can purchase it. It depends on.
Of course, for practice and everything, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has A-Lead based questions, so you can refer to it for A-Lead.
Correct. And quants?
Quants, I purchased the book 30 Days Maths Wonder.
Okay. Alright. So how much did you score in CLAT marks?
It's 100.5.
100.5, and yeah. Okay, great. I think guys, he has answered all your questions. If a student is weak in quants, how does he improve?
I'll have to practice. You'll have to practice a lot, and if you'll have to understand if your basics are correct, or you are taking more time to go to the answer. It depends on you. If your basics are wrong, then you'll have to refer to books which has the basics of ratio proportion, percentage and ratio proportions are two subjects which are two chapters which you cannot leave for quants. And make sure that even if your quants are weak, you at least score around 5 or 7 marks, because without that it would be very tough for you.
Yeah. So okay, guys, he has answered. How many questions did you attempt in CLAT 2022?
133.
So how should the attempt be like? How does a student decide how many attempts should he give?
So if it's if you think the paper is easy, you should go for more attempts. Yes. If the paper looks tough to you, then you should go for more accuracy, because that's how I went about with my mocks. When I found the mocks to be on the easiest side, I used to try and attempt as many questions as possible. On the CLAT day, I was a bit disappointed with my 133 attempts, because I was short of time. I fell short of time. I couldn't attempt the whole of once. So after that, I thought I could have attempted till 140. I would, but I am still happy with my result overall.
Of course, you did great. When did you start preparing for CLAT? Someone asking. I think they joined late.
Yeah, I started preparing in September 2021.
So guys, he had 6 to 7 months to prepare for CLAT. Okay, so I think that is it. Thank you so much, Enjoy. And we'll, if you have any doubts regarding your law school or anything, you can always contact me. And thank you so much for joining us for guiding the students. It was a very comprehensive session. I think you have answered all the questions. And in a gist, let's start with how to prepare for CLAT. I think first of all, you need to go through the syllabus. You
Yes.
need to give the last year's paper first to understand whether you could or could not, or how much do you have to prepare. Then you start with
Yes.
the concepts and the basics, start attending the classes. With that, start giving mocks, analyze your mocks so that you are able to understand how much you have to prepare, what are your weak areas, and how much hard work you have to do, what do you have to study and everything.
Yes.
And I think anything else that you want to add to it.
And just be regular with your
Yeah.
CA preparations, because some people think that they can cover the whole CA in the last 1 month, but that would be very hectic and you won't remember anything. It
Yeah.
will just go over your head.
Absolutely. And read the newspaper for your
Yeah,
reading
it's very
speed.
important.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's the heart and soul of the preparation.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much, guys. And now we'll see each other in classes and Shinjoy in a good NLU. And thank you, Shinjoy, for joining us and guiding the students. Take care and thank you.
Thank you.